During this class, one of the most important things that I have to help you with is to get your portfolio together, because I can teach you everything there may be about working and the stress on the job and all of that. But if you don't have a good portfolio, you're never going to get a job in the first place. But with that being said, there will be a short lecture for each class, each chapter, but you're responsible to do the reading in order to be able to do this lecture chat and to do the study guide questions. So I'm not going to cover everything in the book. So make sure that you do read your textbook for the rest of the information, okay? Because it will also be on the test. So when we talk about stress management, why is that so important when we're talking about on the job? Well, there's a lot of different reasons, and some of it is it can take a toll on your health. It can take a toll on your job performance. It affects you in so many ways that people just don't understand. You're not organized, you're not doing what you need to do. So you have to learn how to deal with stress. And when I talk about dealing with the stress, there's three things your textbook talks about. First, you have to identify what the stressor is. You may not know what is really stressing you out. So you have to be able to identify it and find out why is it that you are being so stressed. Then you need to think about how you reacted and what you could have done, what you could do differently the next time. And you need to stop and think about what you can do and there's some stressful situations that you have no control of, but there's some that you do. And make sure that if there's any possibility that you can't control it, then you need to stop and think so you can get it under control. A lot of times on the job, you need to stop an emotional reaction. A lot of times we act out of our emotions, and that's when we get really upset and not able to do what we really need to do. So one of the big stressors is not being organized. We need to make sure that we become organized, and you need to take time for yourself and your friends. And that will really reduce your stress. You need to have regular sleep. You need to eat regularly. And I'm not talking about fast food. You need to eat good, regular meals. I should never talk about this because I'm really bad about grabbing something in the fast food area. You also need to exercise. These are all ways to reduce your stress. One of the things when you're at school and you're really stressed, try to find a quiet place. There are quiet places around Fresno City College. I know this class is online, but you may have other classes that are not online. There are places that you can hide and find a bench to relax. And you need to find that right person that is normally positive, and you can talk to them. You really need to manage your time. If you don't manage your time and you get things out of control, boy, stress is just going to eat you up. So manage your time. One of the big things for managing time, couple things. Set some priorities. And if you don't know how to set priorities, get somebody to help you setting priorities. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Don't procrastinate. When things need to be done, you need to just dig in and get them done. It doesn't matter if you don't like it and you put it off, and then all of a sudden it jumps up at you and bites you because it's not done. Use a calendar to help you set priorities, remember, when are you having tests? When do you have papers due? That's why one of the first things I told you about is the calendar here on Canvas. You can use this calendar over here on the left-hand side. Use it to schedule for all of your classes. And you need to have an area that is clean and available to work. I'm not going to show you. I could do a camera and show you my desk, but I really don't want to do that because I'm not a good example of that. I've got craft stuff mixed in with my work stuff, and that's not a good thing to do. So be careful. Get your stuff organized. File what needs to be filed. If you've got a bunch of papers, get them off your desk. It just takes, you don't have to handle them 2 or 3 times. Throw away as much as possible. Store as many things as you can. Store them electronically. Then you can find things a whole lot easier. Organize phone numbers and addresses. Have lists somewhere so you can get to them. A lot of us have it right in our phone. So it's nice and easy to do that so you don't get frustrated. If you have a huge project, pardon me, I forgot to turn my phone off. If you have a huge project and you just don't know where to start and it's bothering you so bad, either do it yourself or have someone, maybe your boss or somebody, sit down with you and break that project into small projects. It's so much more satisfying when you can see things getting done. So you can see the little projects getting done. You can get it all done. A good example of this is your portfolio. We're going to do a portfolio here in class, and I could tell you, okay, here, I want you to get started on the portfolio. You have to do this and this and this and this. That's not the right way to do it. Throughout the semester, throughout the rest of the class, I'm going to break that up, and I'm going to ask you to do a cover letter here and the resume here and your work samples here so that it is not so overwhelming. And you'd be surprised. You're going to have a great project when we get done. More than anything, to reduce your stress, if you need to, ask for help. Okay? If you don't deal with stress, what happens? Have you ever thought about that? If you really, really don't deal with stress, have you ever had burnout? Job burnout, school burnout, where you just say you can't take it anymore. You quit school and then you have to go back. Something happened. And when I told you earlier that I went to Fresno State for 2 years right out of high school, I had a counselor that she kept stressing me. She kept telling me that, and I was a home ec major. Don't go into home economics. It's not a good major. It's not a good major. And I kept asking her why. She was a home ec major. Why would she tell me that? Finally, in the second semester, the last semester of my second year, she told me, she says, you want to be a home ec teacher, right? And I said, yes. She says, there's too many of us in the field. You'll never get a job. Well, I was burnt out. I was tired of hearing this, tired of hearing I couldn't do it. I quit school and I regretted it the rest of my life. And from then on, I have always told people, you can do what you want to do. There may be a lot of people in the field, but if you're the best at it, you're going to have a job. So don't let people affect you and let you get burnt out. It also affects your personal life, and that's bad. You don't want to do that. Okay, it's okay to say no. Learn to say no. And there's a special way that you can say no, especially to your boss. What you can do is you can tell your boss, hey, I have a whole lot of projects right now. And have a list of your projects and say, can you help me determine which one is the most important? And that will put it back on your boss or your supervisor. And they'll realize what you have on your plate right now. So think about it. Don't let stress get the best of you. And now you probably wonder why I started with this chapter in a class like this. School can get to you sometimes. And the best way I can think of is to give you the tools right from the beginning to make it through in a class like this. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the class. I hope you learned something from this. Now, please remember to go out and read the chapter. Okay? Bye.